Last week, I came up with 5 new video ideas, done a full body workout routine, updated my budget spreadsheet, optimized my entire nutrition plan, and watched every single episode of One Piece. Okay, I'm just joking, that would be insane. I did get a lot done though, but somehow I still felt like I got nothing done. Here's what I realized: my ADHD brain was using optimization as a dopamine hit to avoid the bigger tasks that actually require me to, think more. So if you've ever been productive on everything except what actually matters, then this video is for you. ADHD brains tend to hold everything at once: that weird noise your car's been making, that new shortcut you found in Mario Kart, or the fact that you need to pick up your very energetic toddler in a few hours. Honestly, it can be exhausting living in this constant mental state where it feels like your mind is just playing ping pong between all these different tasks that all feel urgent. Over the past few months, I've created a simple 3-step system that turns AI into my superpowered assistant that provides the external scaffolding that ADHD brains desperately need. And no, don't worry, this isn't about becoming some super efficient productivity robot. It's about giving your ADHD brain the external support it's always needed. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how it works.
You ready? Yeah.
Here's the thing about ADHD brains: they are terrible at working memory and task switching. Neurotypical people can hold maybe 7 things in their head at once. For people with ADHD, we're constantly trying to juggle 50 different tasks at the same time, and because everything feels equally important, nothing actually gets done. Despite what most people might think, the solution isn't just using willpower to push through, because that does not work for ADHD brains. Trust me, I have learned that the hard way. But what we can do instead is outsource our working memory to AI. Oh, and before we dive deeper, I've created a free Notion template with ADHD-friendly AI prompts that you can use whenever you feel stuck or overwhelmed. Completely free, links down in the description below if you're interested. So I've been using Claude for the past few months, and I've created a specific project called my personal progress partner. I've given it detailed instructions to turn Claude into my superpowered AI journal that helps me process my thoughts and emotions, recognize any familiar ADHD traits, and to provide helpful insights about myself and my ADHD patterns. I'll leave a link down below to the full prompt if you're interested. Every evening, I open up Claude on my phone and I spend about 10 minutes typing out everything that happened during the day. I'll type out something like, "It's been a busy Monday, woke up at 5, done my meditation and morning stretches, drove to the gym, smashed my workout, came home, had a quick shower, tidied the house and drove Charlie to childcare." I'm not joking, that is really a typical morning for me. And yes, I know it would be a lot quicker for me to use the speech to text option, but Charlie's usually fast asleep by this point and I will do everything in my power to make sure it stays that way. Once I've typed everything out, Claude will give me a helpful, detailed response. It starts by breaking everything down into different categories like emotional check-ins, personal growth, and ADHD pattern recognition. It also helps me identify anything that will be considered content gold for my YouTube channel, and even suggest a few different video ideas, which is super helpful. And it usually ends with a really encouraging takeaway, which summarizes everything and gives me valuable takeaways, personal takeaways, not like food related takeaways.
Your Krabby Patty pizza is here!
Instead of my brain trying to remember 50 different things and process everything that happened during the day, I use Claude to help me externalize that entire process. This frees up more of my brain power to focus on bigger tasks the following day. I used to spend hours staring at to-do lists, completely overwhelmed by choices. Now I spend 10 minutes journaling every evening with AI and I can go to sleep with complete clarity. But processing thoughts is just the first step, because even with a clear list, we still have the biggest ADHD trap waiting for us. Yeah, you probably guessed it: time blindness. So you know that thing that happens when you text your friends to tell them you're on your way, but really you're still getting ready and arrive an hour later with no clear explanation? Yeah, that's called time blindness, and people with ADHD really struggle with this. I used to sit down and plan out my week like I had superpowers: create my next video script, 30 minutes, update my budget spreadsheet, 10 minutes, finish watching every single episode of One Piece, 2 hours. In reality, I would usually spend 4 hours using 5 different AI tools to optimize my life, because I became hyper-focused on finding the perfect tools for everything, and then I just ended up getting a headache from too much screen time. I'm not joking, like, it was actually ridiculous.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
So how did I end up solving this? Ironically, through the use of AI. The solution here is to turn AI into your personal time tamer. Here's exactly how I do this. I open up my to-do list in Notion, take a screenshot of it, open up Perplexity, that's another AI tool, attach that screenshot and ask it to help me achieve all of my tasks by assigning them realistic time estimates, buffer time and transition periods based on everything it already knows about me and my workflow. And because I use Perplexity pretty much every day, it already has all that context about me. It knows how I work best and how much I underestimate the time it actually takes to do things. It helps me plan out way more realistically and builds in what I call dopamine bridges, which is basically those crucial 10 minutes between tasks where your brain gets to reset. But the real magic happens with buffer time and transitions. Most ADHD advice tells you to stick to a tight schedule, but that really does not work. When you're constantly rushing between tasks, your nervous system stays activated, which means you can never enter that hyper-focus state where you get your best work done. I learned this the hard way a few months ago. I'd spent all day hyper-focused on work, then I jumped straight into AI research and content creation. By the evening, I was so mentally drained that I wasn't really paying attention to my son Charlie. I was there physically, but by that point my brain had completely checked out. And honestly, I hated myself for that, because for me personally, I want to be the best dad possible I can be as Charlie grows up. So now I do everything I can to protect those small 10-minute reset windows between tasks, because for my ADHD brain, those are essential. Now, here's where this gets really powerful, and this literally saved me from a complete schedule meltdown a few weeks ago. Here's the brutal truth about people with ADHD. We are our own worst critics. When we don't follow through on plans, that inner voice up here says, you're lazy, you're a failure, you cannot do anything right.
And you know what's going to be on your tombstone? Loser.
This shame spiral kills every productivity system we try. We have one bad day, that inner critic takes over and we abandon the entire system. The technical term for this is rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Think of it like having an emotional panic button which is triggered by any hint of failure. Traditional accountability doesn't work for ADHD brains because it comes loaded with judgment. Even the most well-meaning support can trigger that shame spiral. This is where AI becomes genuinely life-changing as an accountability partner, because it has zero emotional investment in your success or failure. It's not disappointed when you mess up, it's not judging your productivity, it's just analyzing data and suggesting adjustments. For example, a few weeks ago, I opened up my personal progress partner in Claude. I mentioned something like, I was planning to finish my next video script today, but instead I spent hours researching the perfect AI tools for my YouTube channel and optimizing my workout routine. I know these are important, but I feel like I'm procrastinating on the one thing that actually matters right now. And instead of responding with a sassy remark, Claude responded with, I notice you're using optimization as a way to feel productive while avoiding the vulnerability of creating content, like I'm doing now, that will be seen by others. Your brain isn't failing, it's protecting you from that emotional risk of putting yourself out there. That one response completely reframed my mindset on failure. I wasn't lazy or undisciplined, I was just struggling to understand why it felt so difficult to get that one script done. This is what makes AI accountability so powerful. It gives objective feedback without triggering shame spirals. These insights come from data, not judgment, which means you can actually hear them and start working on them. That is my simple 3-step AI system that helps me manage my ADHD. Claude for journaling and processing things, Perplexity to help me with my time blindness, and using AI as my non-judgmental accountability partner. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. You cannot watch every single episode of One Piece in 2 hours. It's just impossible.
I can't do it.
I'm just joking. AI isn't replacing your brain. It's giving your ADHD brain the external support it's always needed. These 3 steps work together as a complete system. The journaling clears your working memory, the time blocking prevents overwhelm and builds in recovery time, and the non-judgmental feedback helps you iterate and improve without the shame spiral that kills consistency. And look, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying, oh, you have to go and start using these AI tools exactly the same way I do, because you don't. I'm just sharing the system that I've managed to put together in the past few months that actually works for me. And if you think it might be helpful for you, then by all means, go ahead, give it a try and leave a comment down below to let me know if it does help, because that's really valuable feedback for me and it could help other people that have ADHD or feel overwhelmed, because that's what this channel is all about. Just sharing my experiences and my story to hopefully help some of you guys and showing people that you can use AI to work with your ADHD brain instead of against it. Oh, and just one more thing. We've just reached 250 subscribers on the channel. So I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you that subscribe to the channel and watches my videos. I know 250 might not seem like a huge number to some people, but to me that is a massive milestone, and I just wanted you guys to know how grateful I am. So seriously, thank you. And if you found this video helpful at all, you might like to check out this one over here, where I explain exactly how I turn Claude into my AI powered journal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.